Yeah, spirit fingers, everybody.
All
right.
Sandy.
You didn't do any spirit fingers. Gotta do spirit fingers. Okay. So we've been talking a little bit on our theme of family and actually looking kind of at what I call non-traditional families. So I'm really excited that today Liz and Sandy, who I've known for a while, have decided to talk to us today. Thank you.
Thank you for being here and wanting to talk to us about our lives.
Absolutely. So now, Liz, I knew you first.
Yes. When I moved back to Springfield in 2001, I picked a doctor out of the phone book.
And that's really how you picked me?
That's exactly how I picked you.
I remember you telling me the story. I did not know that.
Exactly. Well, I was working as a pharmacist, but I didn't. I hadn't been in school here, and so I kind of do that where I just sort of pick things out of the air, and so I picked you, and then I loved you.
That is a riot. I never knew that.
So I probably became your patient in 2002, somewhere around then, and then I don't know when we got together.
Yeah. So how did you meet Sandy?
Well, Sandy and I had a mutual friend, and do you remember what year we actually met?
I don't remember years, but I remember exactly when. Like the circumstance.
I know. It was at Kmart.
Okay, good on me.
We met at Kmart.
We met at Kmart. I was shopping, and this is 2000 and I was in my house, 2002, 2003, and I was there shopping, and in walks my friend since kindergarten, Meredith, who I'd only been back in town for a year or two, so I was excited to see her and reconnect, and she had her friend Sandy with her. So we just stood and talked in Kmart for 45 minutes or something.
Kmart. Right.
Yeah, the MacArthur Kmart, yes. Right. And so that's how we met. And
now, before you guys met, had you had other relationships with other women, or was this kind of your first?
Me, no.
Okay.
I had a series of long-term relationships with men. And I was actually in a long-term relationship when I met Sandy.
I didn't do anything.
No, this is just when we met.
No.
This is just when we met.
Let me tell the world, I did not break up that relationship.
Right. No.
I had been attracted to women at times.
Right.
But I was always in a relationship and I'm very loyal, and so I kind of really shelved those feelings. For me, it was always really about a person.
Yeah.
And so that was sort of
absolutely.
So that was just me.
Okay.
And Sandy
brought that out in her.
Yeah. So then you guys,
Sandy has only dated women.
Okay. So then you guys started dating then.
Well, not right away.
Okay. She was with her fiance.
And you were with someone.
Right.
Her fiance.
I was engaged. Yes.
Yeah.
And then so we kind of saw each other.
You were engaged?
I was engaged. Yes.
Again, I did not break that.
No.
But I just
yeah. So actually, it was one of those things where you meet someone and it's they're an acquaintance friend, but you really you're drawn to them. There's just something so when I would see, when I'd go out with my friend Meredith, I'd be like, oh, I wonder if Sandy's going to be there, and if she was going to be there, it was always just extra fun, and it was just, it wasn't,
I felt the same
romantic,
way,
it was just person to person, connection. Exactly. You feel like you've known them forever.
Right.
So my relationship ended in March of 2005.
Okay.
And as women are wont to do when they're fresh out of a relationship, they sort of reconnect with their friends again. And so I reconnected and was starting to see my friends more with Meredith, and so I started hanging out with Sandy more. And then we hung out a lot. You were out of your relationship too, I should say that, because neither one of us are homewreckers. So
no,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
Well, let me just, for the record, I have a love of her former fiance. I love him.
We do all get along.
He's wonderful. And
because I don't think I ever met him.
No.
Okay.
Probably not. I don't think
so. Yeah, I think we have a mutual love of each other. So it's kind of worked out. It worked out it probably should have. So
anyhow, so we started hanging out, and then I was like, oh my god, and then I was like, I've got to tell this person, and so I called her up, and I said, I have something to tell you. I don't know if you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
And I said, I have a crush on you, and that was it. And then we went on a date.
That's awesome.
That was it.
Yeah.
So,
because you guys have been together how long then? 13 years.
Yeah, it was May. Our first date was on Cinco de Mayo of 2005. So 555.
So as you started to kind of form a relationship, form a life together, at what point did you guys have conversations about having a family, or how did that conversation happen?
We did. always wanted kids.
Right.
Growing up,
Right.
I always did, and it didn't have to be like I didn't know what age, I didn't know what circumstances.
You
I
just
just
knew.
knew I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to.
What about you?
Yeah, I always thought that I wanted to have children, not like physically have
Yeah.
children. Like I never wanted to physically give
Really?
birth ever. Like I've never had that desire. I've never like. In
This
fact,
is how
I was
it all
like.
worked out so
Right.
So in fact, I was like
perfect.
frightened of that. Like I
Really?
never ever wanted to do that. And,
Okay.
But I knew I wanted to have kids, or be kind of a mom that raised children to be
Mhm.
good people, and but I knew that was possibly not in the cards.
Well, that's what I mean, because your path was a little different, where you
Mhm.
said you were kind of like, I don't even know if I'm going to have kids, but
Mhm.
you were always in a situation where it was always possible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So when we first got
And
together,
here's one right here.
well, hello, stinker.
So then,
When we got together, I
Yeah.
said, I just want kids to be a possibility. I
Yes.
said, if this is not something that you want to decide in the
Right.
first months of your relationship anyway, I just said, I just want it to be something that we could think about and consider.
Mhm.
And then,
I
like,
don't know that we ever really had any big conversations
well,
about
that's
it.
all I said to you. I remember saying that to
I
you.
think that everything that we've ever done in our relationship was always natural because we were
Mhm.
always, for the most part, on the same page. I think we were all I think we just naturally fit with almost all of our big decisions.
I think that's true too, but I do remember saying to you, I just want this to be on the table. I just want it to be a possibility. And so, and before we started trying for our first child, I had actually gotten to the point where, I got to the point where I thought, I'm so happy in this relationship, and if I don't have kids, it'll be okay.
Right.
Like, we have this amazing thing,
Right.
and
Right.
if it doesn't, I mean, I still wanted it really badly,
Mhm.
but, but anyway, so we decided probably about between years 2 and 3 in that we really wanted to try for kids.
And that's when you started. So, and you knew that you wanted to carry your own child.
Yes.
So you hadn't really had any
The
other
heat was
discussions
off.
about. Right.
Yeah,
For
like,
you.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
The Liz.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and it made it really easy because I would have been super duper jealous if,
Mhm.
if I didn't carry the child, I really
Mhm.
wanted to, and I don't know that I could have been as nice about it as she
Right.
was.
Yeah. So you're like, have at
I
it.
was not being nice.
I'll
It
rub your
was,
back. I'll do all
Yeah.
that perk.
Yeah.
She was so
That's what I
sweet.
mean.
Yes, she wanted to totally take
Yeah.
care of me, and it was
I had to do hardly. I had nothing. I had nothing I had to do for her. She
Mhm.
did not need anything from me for this. She just. I wanted to do all the late night, run, get ice cream stuff, but that was not something she needed at the time. So, but anyway,
So we decided that we wanted to try, and I mean, if you want any technical details.
Oh, we don't have. We don't have to go.
No.
into that. But-
Basically,
Yeah.
I tracked my cycle for a year before
Right.
we started to try.
Right.
At the time, I mean, this is like 2007 to 2008.
Mhm.
Ben was born in 2008 to 2009. There were no doctors in Springfield that would
Right.
do same-sex
Well,
couples.
I was about to say, because the way this community is,
Mhm.
yeah, they would have shot you down.
Right. No, there
away.
was one practice in
Right.
reproductive endocrinology,
Right.
and
They
they
would've shut
would
you down.
only help same-sex
Right.
married couples.
Right.
They said, which actually wasn't true. They would help same-sex unmarried couples.
Right.
But that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we knew we either had to do it on our own,
Mhm.
or we would have to go to St. Louis.
Right.
And so there was no reason why I thought I couldn't get pregnant.
Right.
My cycles were normal.
you know, try that first.
Right, and I thought my insurance would cover infertility later on, so
Right.
we decided just to go for it. So like everything else in our lives, I ordered it off the internet.
And I remember when you told me that, and
Mhm.
I made I remember
Yeah.
making a joke. I was like,
You can buy anything off the internet.
you can buy anything off there, and I was
Yeah.
like, and that's expensive.
It was very expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little more complicated than ordering. But,
Right,
but
right,
we
right,
did.
right.
We
It's still a
we
process.
researched it all. We found this sperm bank on the
Yeah.
internet. We used this sperm bank
Yeah.
from in the Chicagoland area.
Right.
We used an anonymous donor.
Right.
It was expensive and it was stressful, and everyone tells you making babies is so much fun, but
Yeah.
but when you're
It's
doing
stressful.
at-home inseminations
Right,
with
right.
vials of sperm that cost
Right.
hundreds of dollars a
Right.
vial, and you're spending $1,000, $1,500 per cycle, and you're like, shit, am I doing this right?
Right.
It's just, it was incredibly
It's just like a wing and a
stressful.
prayer, basically.
So, but we got lucky with Ben. We
Yeah.
got pregnant on our 4th cycle.
Right.
And then a couple years later,
Josh.
we tried for that stinker, and that took a little bit longer.
There was a lot of stress on my end. Can I just
Okay.
add,
Yeah.
I just want to add my 2 cents
Yeah.
here because, I'm not a doctor.
Mhm.
I had some logistical things that I had to do that I was unfamiliar with,
Right,
that I had
right.
to figure out. That, you know, am I in the right position?
Right.
And I also had to worry about, don't do it too fast because it could, you know, cause cramping. You know, am I putting this in the right location? Is this going to work? Like, it was very, very stressful.
technical, very technical. And I remember at one point, and I can't remember if it was after Ben and before you're trying to get Josh, I think I said to you, you know, there's tequila in a bar, and there.
And I know people that do it a little cheaper. That's perfectly fine.
Right.
It just we were nervous, and we were fortunate
Yeah.
enough to have the means that we could do that.
Right.
You know, but we wanted for all the legal reasons.
Right.
There not to be a third party involved.
Absolutely.
That
Yes.
was really important.
That's
to
a
us.
very important point to bring up.
Because we actually, you know, we thought about, well, you know, there's a friend we could possibly ask.
Right.
And yeah, it would be a whole heck of a lot easier with,
Right.
with a known donor. I mean, easy access. Like I wouldn't have been getting big huge FedEx doers of sperm sent to us
Right.
once a month. I mean, you know, so, but that's why we did it.
And as you guys have gone through, because you know your kids have been in daycare, they go to school. I mean, at what point was there some point where you have to say, like, to the daycare or to the school, like, this is our situation, or you know, if the kids have any issues, or if there's other family. I mean, do you feel like you have to like put it out there instead of just showing up like everybody else, like, hey, here we are?
I mean, I do think that like having kids when you're a gay couple is like an exercise in coming out like all the time.
And used to it.
And you have to just get used to it. And we just always have had the attitude that this is us, this is our family, this is our life. We're amazing and we know it.
You guys
and,
are amazing.
You know, I mean, which sounds terrible. I mean,
We're like everybody else.
that's what I mean. I mean, everybody's amazing. I mean, just like we shouldn't feel sorry or embarrassed, or you know, just if we put positivity out there, we usually get positivity back.
We've been very fortunate.
That's true too.
We've been very fortunate that everybody has been just incredibly wonderful to us. I mean, and they've all been treated.
Well,
But I know everybody should be treated the way that we've been treated, honestly. And yes, we've had to overcome a lot of hurdles, legal hurdles. I mean, she had to adopt her own child.
I know.
I mean,
It's
that is
true.
crazy.
I mean,
we had to pay money
The
to adopt her own child. That she
way
gave
to get a
birth
second
to.
parent adoption is basically I adopted both of my biological children. And we went to Chicago twice to do it and spent money and all this stuff because we live in Sangamon County, which is very conservative.
It was a tax deduction.
Yeah.
But still.
It's
crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
But for me to be legally their parent, she also had to do the same.
Right.
You know,
Eat both ways.
yeah.
But in terms of daycares and schools, we've had excellent.
Right.
You know, and we just put it out there. We're like, this is us, this is our family, these are our kids. And at first,
And
like,
we didn't have to do
I did
very
have
much
to
with
say,
that.
like, well, the very first daycare we went to, not first impressions with Ben, but the very first daycare.
Should we not say real names?
It's okay.
Is that okay?
Well, I guess we won't say what that first daycare was.
I didn't say
the
the
first
one.
impressions was great.
First impression was great. We
But
loved
the first
time.
daycare we went to, they were good, but
Yeah, they were
they
excellent.
wanted to see legal documents so that Sandy could pick up and drop. They wanted to see that she was legally the parent.
See, I don't
And I'm
remember
like,
that at
would
all.
you have
I
shown?
don't
Would you
remember
have
that.
asked a man and a woman who weren't
Right.
married? Would you have asked
Yeah.
them for the same legal documents?
Right.
I mean, but these
That
are
kind of
small
stuff.
things.
Small-
I mean,
yeah, but it's still, it's like picking the hair out.
yeah. I mean, but other than that, I mean, I can't recall.
Yeah.
I mean, we get some questions from kids, but and we just
They're innocent though. It's,
yeah. No. We just always answer them
We
like,
need to do something about that.
No, he's fine.
Okay.
I think it's like real.
welcome
Right?
to our
Welcome
lives.
to the house.
And this is only one child. The
Right,
other child
right.
is away. So
Well, I remember, and I think it was with Josh, and when he was a baby, and we were kind of looking at his eyes on our previous moment, and we're looking at his eyes like, well, what color eyes is he going to be? And so what I normally do with parents is I look at the kid's eyes, and I look at both parents' eyes, and I went, what color are your eyes, Sandy? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, Sandy's not biological.
That
But
was awesome.
I love that
You have a
with
good
me.
memory.
And I do. I was
Yeah.
like, but you are his.
Yeah. And you're not the
parents.
only one that's
You
done
know,
that. They've
or,
looked at the kids and gone, well,
Yeah.
Sandy's tall. They might be tall. And I love that. I mean, because I mean,
Right.
we're their parents. I
Right.
mean, and it doesn't matter. I mean, that I'm the biological parent and she's not the biological parent. We're the parent, we're the moms. So, but back to like
Can I just insert one little story? Ben. Okay, so our oldest, who is
Yeah.
8, he's always done this, but anytime he introduces us, or anytime he's in a new situation or in a new group, he says, you know, hi, my name is Ben. I have 2 moms. That's always the second. That's always the follow-up. Or Josh too. Hi, you know, hi, I'm Josh. I have 2 moms. That's always the follow-up.
Right.
It's I'm proud of it, and I love that because that's how they identify.
Right.
You know,
Right.
this is my name, and I have 2 moms. I love that.
I think I always felt weird, like, you know, when you go through your developmental thing, going, are they saying dad? Because, you know, mama, dad, that's that natural development. And I'm like, I don't know if I want those kids to say dad. You know what I mean? I was just,
and I will
we're
say,
so in tune to certain.
yeah. But it's okay.
Yeah.
And times are changing. I mean, forms are changing. Forms are hard. Like forms are mother, father, you know, and forms are changing. They're becoming parent too. I mean,
I don't want to take anything away from like moms and dads, but it doesn't
not. We both have moms and dads.
Not at
you know,
all.
I mean, we both.
And how are your families? Are they pretty supportive?
They are. Oh my lord, child. I mean, you know, I had one parent that took a little time. Look, a little bit longer time to come around.
What did you say?
And then, but that parent came around after her grandchildren very nicely.
Right?
Yes, and Sandy's parents have been very supportive. Now they live further away, so we don't have to see them as often.
My family is.
But her family's very supportive. So no, we've been very lucky. I mean, we're very.
I always say blessed.
Yes, very blessed.
Hashtag
Very fortunate.
blessed.
Yes, very fortunate. You know, I mean, it's good.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, because you guys are one of our favorite couples that come into, seriously, that come into our office. But it's always interesting because if I have a float nurse or if I have a new nurse and the 2 of you come in, they're like, which one is mom? I'm like, they both are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
and,
just,
and I will say, if someone ever makes assumptions or says anything that's not, we'll just correct nicely and go about our way. It's not like we don't create a big deal because we get that there's preconceptions and you know,
It's confusing, but it's not a big deal.
yeah, exactly. And so we just
Everybody's
say,
human.
It's not. I mean, someone called the donor the dad one time, and I'm like, it's not. The donor is not a dad. A dad is a father with a relationship. The donor donated sperm.
and we all have
stories
like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So we've had that, and then you know, who's the? We haven't really had a lot of who's the real mom, or you know.
No,
we just say, you know, we really
lucky to know you both know.
Okay, buddy.
You're cracking me up.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Have an audience.
You
You
know
know.
the beer.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing though, because like I said, you know, it's a new day. There's all different types of families. You know, I don't like to use the word traditional, but still loving.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, your kids are awesome.
That's a word.
I need to go in 15 minutes. But I think it's really important for people to hear these stories because I think what you don't understand are things that people start to, you know, get angry at.
Exposure is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we all need exposure to different things.
Right.
And
I see where you're looking. All right.
No games on there for you.
Yeah. All right.
No, we appreciate you wanting to have us.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, in my last video, I said you were going to come on, so I kind of forced you into it. So sorry about that. Yeah, you haven't seen it yet. I was like, well, when we talk to the next couple,
No, we're happy to. We just, you know, be out there. Just,
and you love your kids.
Just be us.
You love your kids and you love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a lot of same-sex couples that don't have that or do that aren't good to their kids, or like you said, a dad who doesn't have a relationship with their kids. So if you can have those parts, I don't care what sex you are, that's good. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Oh, good. We've brought in more noise.
All right, thanks.
Thank
All right,
you.
here's thank
You guys are awesome.